Hello and welcome back, everybody. And it's lovely to see you again, Shivani. How are you?
I'm very peaceful. I just came back from a training retreat myself, and it was so beautiful because, like many of my clients and students, I find myself saying, I know what I need to do to feel better, but often I don't have the time or the environment or the support to do it. So that's why I went on retreat, and that's why I love hosting retreats. So I'm very excited. We're counting down the months now until our retreat in New Zealand.
I know it's exciting, and there's only a few spots left. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I saw that you were doing some massage and body work and improving your technique.
Yeah, I think it's so important as a teacher, as a massage therapist, as a body worker, to be constantly fine-tuning my own body and my own health. So I went and trained with a very wise woman, Gayleen, and she really helped me to deepen my connection to my own body and to really channel the energy from the natural environment and bring that through my body into my clients on the table. So it was wonderful, and I feel very inspired. And I think if you're a yoga teacher or meditation teacher and you're contemplating coming to this retreat, jump on it, because it's always so important for us as teachers to also be a student and to
Keep
learn.
learning.
Yeah, and just to have that time for ourselves to embody the teachings that we do teach. I always like to say that, we teach what we most need to embody ourselves. And a big part of our retreat that we're going to be doing together and what we're going to talk about, I think, today in this video is breathing, correct breathing, and pranayama, which is the breath expansion and retention practice that we use in yoga.
So yeah, pranayama, the life force, controlling the breath. I think a lot of people go into yoga thinking it's all the physical poses, the asanas, but actually pranayama is one of the 8 limbs, isn't it? And it's just as important as the asanas.
Yeah, I love to share with people that yoga is not just about the poses, as you mentioned, and it's an 8-limb practice, Ashtanga. And one very important part of that is breath work or breath retention practices. And yoga has thousands of years of history. So originally, when pranayama was taught, it was all about learning how to master your own inhale and exhale so you can hold or retain the breath. And we now know why the ancient yogis did this practice. When we retain the breath, we have the ability to optimize oxygen and CO2, carbon dioxide levels in the body. And that gives us a whole host of health benefits and really allows us to be a master of our own mind. So the yogis and yoginis, they knew that through the breath that we can start to understand the workings of the mind, and then we can act in a way that's more peaceful for ourselves and other people. And that's what yoga is all about, is finding peace.
There's so many benefits, aren't there, from lowering blood pressure, relaxation, fine-tuning your brain and making it work faster, helping people with PTSD. There's so many benefits from it.
Yeah, all of those. It really helps to harmonize the nervous system. And what we find now in our modern world is that we're either in sympathetic overdrive, so we're in a highly stressful state, and we don't even know that often because the body is very resilient and very adaptive. So we come to think that our highly stressed state is normal for us. Or you could be at the other end where you might be in quite a depressive state, and your sympathetic nervous system is still very tense, but you're extremely lethargic and have no energy to do anything. So what the yoga breath practices teach us is how to understand the flow of our breath, which equals the flow of our energy, and that 4 equals the flow and the quality of our thoughts. So the way we think determines how we breathe, determines our physiology, and vice versa. Even modern medicine now is saying how important it is for us to learn how to retain the breath. So how to actually hold the breath. When we go to yoga, we're actually trying to breathe less. We're trying to get our body and mind into a state where it's so peaceful that the breath is very slow, it's very calm and very deep. At the moment, breath work is very popular. And it's being taught in a way that's very yang in style. So, a lot of hyperventilating, a lot of big breathing, and then holding the breath. And that's okay if you already have mastery over your nervous system. But for most of us, we don't have that. So we need to learn how to slow down, how to be comfortable in the body. And then we can learn how to reduce the breathing, how to breathe more optimally, so that we can practice holding the breath and be very calm. And this is what gives all those benefits that you shared with us a moment ago.
Yeah, I think we all need a bit of that, even depending on what stage we're at or what level we're at. We all need that.
Yeah, I mean, my interest in breathing and pranayama came from being a severe asthmatic. I spent most of my 20s, so from 4 years of age up to 21 in hospital. I was a severe asthmatic, and not one doctor ever taught me how to breathe better. I was just filled with, asthmatic drugs, and I was very, very sick. And it wasn't until I met yoga that I really started to realize, wow, if I change how I breathe, if I change my posture, and if I change my mind, I can almost not have these attacks. So that was my introduction to pranayama. And for the last 25 years, I haven't been hospitalized. I don't take asthma medication, but I do have a very diligent practice of breathing. And I think the more you do it, the more you do it naturally. So that's one of the wonderful things about coming on a retreat, is that every morning and every night before we go to bed, we're doing these practices and we start to imprint them in our system. So it's not just a once a week thing. By doing them daily in a retreat environment, we can start to learn how to bring them into our everyday existence. And that's what we want. We want to breathe functionally. We want to breathe blissfully, so that we can be healthy, we can have a steady mind and be productive in our lives.
Definitely. And before we go, there's one thing I wanted to mention, because the first time ever on one of our retreats, we're actually going to do a session on each morning at 6 a.m, really specialized towards yoga teachers. They're teaching of pranayama, isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I like to say is it's not just for teachers. It is for anybody who wants to be a better teacher of themselves. But if there are yoga teachers out there who are interested in learning more about how to guide pranayama correctly and how to weave that seamlessly in a yoga class, then this will be a great experience for them. And we'll go through a lot of the science of pranayama. So even if you're not a teacher, but you are interested in better breathing, it'll be some fascinating sessions that we have together. And the best way to learn breathing is in the morning on an empty stomach. And it is that early morning energy when things are quiet, the body isn't so heavy, that we can start to feel the breathing apparatus. Yoga retreats, they're very relaxing. We slow down, but we have a lot of fun. And I think that's because that's our true nature.
Yeah.
We're big kids in essence, and retreats are a time for us to return to our true nature, relax, slow down, have fun, and just enjoy life.
Well, I can't wait. We'll see you in November.
See you soon.
Thanks, Shivani. Thanks. Bye.